3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, I am Mr. Cleveland. I hope you all had a very happy Valentine's Day, or for me, Single Awareness Day. And what the? No! We got movie sign! Movie sign! Movie sign! Okay, you may want to know why I have a bow shot through my head. Because
it's an arrow. No one gets a bow shot through their head.
An arrow
shot through their head.
Anna took this. Okay, Anna. But I got an arrow shot through my head because the stupid Cupid decided it would have been a fun idea to shoot me through the head rather than give me a lady for Valentine's. Again, it's stupid Cupid, not the actual Cupid I know, but the thing is, today's episode is Sleepless in Seattle, starring Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, Rosie O'Donnell, Rob the Meathead Reiner, and David Hyde Pierce. I'm sure they're all celebrating today for some apparent reason, and no, not Valentine's Day or Ash Wednesday. But yeah, so Sleepless in Seattle is my favorite rom-com, and obviously I mentioned who was in it, and it's a good Valentine's Day movie or Single Awareness Day film. So the film starts in 1991, where Sam Baldwin, played by Odom Shank, Tom Hanks, and he lost his wife from Lord knows what cancer.
From Disney killing main character female disease?
Yes.
From killing mom disease?
Yes, that's what it was.
Disney always kills moms in their movies?
Right. Well, there was a true statement because Disney did lose his mom.
Maybe that's why it always happens in Disney movies. Walt Disney's mom died.
Yeah, in the early 40s, I believe.
Uh-huh.
But, so Sam is widowed, and his son Jonah would move from Chicago to Seattle because Samuel wanted a new change. He was getting tired of all the I'm getting all these therapy. I want people are trying to help me. He's like, I don't need help. I'm just gonna go to Seattle. I actually was watching. So now we're in 1992, Baltimore, and Christmas, another city I can't stand for some apparent reason.
Okay.
And many Clevelanders would know why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
football team.
Yeah, Annie Reed, who's played by Meg Ryan, is looking forward to her wedding for next year because her fiance, Walter, who's like allergic to almost everything in the world, almost like me when I was a kid.
Is that the David Hyde Pierce character?
No.
Oh.
That's Annie's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're planning on the wedding, and you know how they met? For a tuna salad sandwich. She got white. She was supposed to get white. She was supposed to get wheat, but she wound up getting white. And Walter.
This is the bread.
Yes.
As opposed to how exceptionally white this movie is. Very, very white people.
Yep.
Mayonnaise sandwiches.
So Annie is driving to DC on Christmas Day. She hears a kid talking to a radio station.
While she's in the car.
Yeah,
that's right. I remember that.
Chicago, and he says his full name, which you don't do. Well, he doesn't know. He's just only 8.
Who's playing the radio host?
I don't know. It's like that Delilah lady. Delilah or Dr. Laura. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Laura. Want to see me nude? Nah. But so
it winds up it's Tom Hanks' kid, right?
Yes. And it's Dr. Marsha Fieldstone. So Sam's spilling his guts, and then they call the whole theme Sleepless in Seattle. That's why it's called Sleepless in Seattle. And
well, because usually when a person would call into a program, especially in the late 80s and early 90s, they would say, "Oh, what city are you from?" "Ah, okay, Chicago." And then there'd be some moniker about like the person. "Ah, crazy in Chicago, you're on the air." It's sort of is Larry King's accredited with doing that a lot. Like, "Oh, it's Sleepless in Seattle, you're on the air." So you'd be yeah, Mr. Cleveland, Paul. Oh, all right, Mr. Cranky in Cleveland, you're on the air.
Yeah.
Cranky in Cleveland.
Yeah, Cranky in Cleveland.
Yeah, so
that'd be a better movie though. Or Bitterness and Sarcasm.
That's something else.
But yeah. So one day Annie buys some tea, and she buys some tea at a diner while she's hearing the radio show. She gets a little misty, and then she goes back to work after her Christmas break, and her colleagues are talking about this man in Seattle who tied up a radio station. And Becky, played by the Queen of Mean, well, she was Queen of Nice back then, but now she's the Queen of Mean, Rosie O'Donnell, who does not have a career much anymore. All she does is eat s'mores and say, I stop it, neighbors! Otherwise I'll get my cats out on you! Maybe Rosie O'Donnell has cats. You have a crazy cat lady. And so she's wondering why Annie would find the mystery Sleepless in Seattle caller interesting. So on New Year's Day in Baltimore, Walter tells Annie that he's going to be a little bit busy around Valentine's Day, and they want to have something romantic in New York City, go to Tiffany's, have breakfast at Tiffany's, have breakfast with Tiffany. Well, but back in Seattle, Sam and Jonah watch the ball drop. Jonah's asleep, and but ever since New Year's Day, Sam's been getting a lot of letters. And he also saw Maggie, his wife. Sam saw Maggie, or Margaret. Pure irony. Her name's Margaret. And it reminded me of another show with actually Rosie O'Donnell was once.
Wait, is he divorced or widowed?
Widowed.
Oh, okay. So who did he see?
His deceased wife.
He saw his dead wife?
In a dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was like the small scene.
Yeah. And
Margaret, and then I just thought about this 80s sitcom, Give Me a Break. Almost same, like a grump, but this time, but that was a disgruntled cop who lost his wife and decides, and his wife befriends an African-American lady who wants to have a break. And that too had Rosie O'Donnell in the final season. And she hated her, and Rosie hated her.
What does that have to do with Sleepless in Seattle?
Okay, fine. So.
And then Ray Liotta showed up.
No, Meathead showed up.
Yeah, that actually happens. Rob Reiner plays Tom Selleck's friend, or Tom Hanks' friend, or whatever, right?
Yeah, no, this is Tom Selleck.
That's fine. Put it away. Fine. Just talk about the movie.
Okay, fine. So Meathead tells Sam all this stuff about what she liked and all that stuff while they were having lunch, and Meathead's having a beer while Sam's eating clams while playing Clam Digger, whatever that is. But then Annie is listening to, and one of the letters that Sam got was from his third grade teacher. Third grade teacher had the hots for him, but now Annie's having second thoughts because of Walter, because she's like, oh, he's like allergic to everything. He has to have all the mystifiers and whatnot. And she's hearing the best of Dr. Marcia Fieldstorm. Well, before I continue this is the intermission. For all the people who have not seen Sleepless in Seattle, I'm sure you all have while watching this, I encourage you to buy the movie Sleepless in Seattle. Rent it or stream it or anything. And this is part of our show, the Warner Brothers Broadcasting Network. So click that like button and subscribe. More cowbell. Yeah, so just subscribe. We have more shows to come. Well, so Annie, so this is where David Hyde Pierce appears. Annie would go to the Baltimore Public Library and she'd tell her brother Dennis. So David Hyde Pierce Dennis is played by David Hyde Pierce. And I think it'd be funny if it was like they tried Kelsey Grammer or something, Frasier. But she sees that, and Dennis says that he had to get married, otherwise his woman's gonna leave him. But he maybe Dennis likes guys. But yeah, so
if every gay actor in Hollywood only played gay, then there wouldn't be any straight characters in movies. Go ahead.
Okay, well, love shouldn't be pushed. But back in Seattle, Sam and Meathead still, and also talk about butts and tiramisu. I like big butts, and I cannot let you. I heard Sir Mix-a-Lot was going to have the part that Meathead wound up getting, but I don't know why he didn't get it. So Sam returns home, and he sees his son Jonah and his friend Jessica, who talks in LOL speech, basically. She could say LMFAO or OMG. Jessica would be a great internet lady. But they were listening to the Beatles. They're saying, it's because they were saying, turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. If you play it in reverse. So, yeah, they're listening to Beatles music backwards. And then we go back seeing Annie and Becky. And they're watching An Affair to Remember, starring Cary Grant.
Meet me at the top of the Empire State Building, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, what's interesting was that movie got remade a year later and starred, I think it was Audrey Hepburn, one of the Hepburns, Catherine.
Yeah.
That was her final film, but that was like the only reason why it was good. The rest of the remake kind of eats like all the others. But so one day, Jonah had a nightmare, and so Sam tells Jonah all the good memories, and has the rendition of
memories with
memories with
Sam's mother and his wife or whatever.
Right,
Tom Hanks' wife.
Yeah, and then hear Bye Bye Blackbird, the Joe Cocker version. This movie has a great soundtrack. You have some blues, you have some jazz, you have it kind of had the almost brought back the big band revival kind of. So Sam and Andy are pondering with a musical moment, which was a thing in the 90s, as well as today somewhat. So Annie decides to try and contact Sam Baldwin. So it's like she's spying on him, basically, throughout this one scene. Because then she tries to call him, no answer. Then she returns to the computer, and she sees that Samuel Baldwin has been widowed by, again, Margaret since 1991. And Sam is ready to start dating. So Clarice is babysitting, and Clarice gets a phone call. Is this Clarice? No. What's up? So Jonah tells Dad about Annie, but he's more interested about his date rather than Annie, and he gets drunk, just like the time. Wait,
the kid gets drunk.
No,
Tom Hanks' character.
Tom Hanks' character, Jonah, Sam.
Sam, okay.
But what was interesting, I watched Family Ties yesterday, and he played Ned, and he became an alcoholic in season 2. Another white bread sitcom, Michael J. Fox. So, yeah, and so Dr. Fieldstone tells both Annie and Jonah how they feel, because Annie gets up in the middle of the night after hearing her soon-be husband probably not really is snoring and has a Mr. Zahn snoring or something. And so Jonah asks, so she basically, so this is the scene, let's see. And so well, actually, I kind of skipped up a little bit, but Sam was being stalked by the paparazzi because they take some pictures. And the next day, Victoria, which is the lady that the Samuel is dating, it made dinner, and both of them have a good times. But Jonah asks Victoria questions, and so Sam says, "You know what? Go to bed, Jonah. Go to bed." So Jonah sees his dad going all lovey-dovey and whatnot to Victoria on the deck of the boathouse. And so Jonah calls the radio station, and then Becky calls Annie in the middle of the night. It's like, what do you want now? Meow. I don't know. But so they go into the. So then Becky calls Annie, and Dr. Fieldstone tells Jonah to talk to him in the morning, but Jonah decides to go do the Macaulay Culkin thing. Ah! Because he thought he pretended he saw a Black Widow spider, and his father Sam, could care less. So
then he gets bit by a Black Widow spider and dies?
No. No. He thought he saw a Black Widow spider.
Oh, they already lied about it? Is that
yes. What happened? Mm-hmm. And so then Jonah and Jessica write letters to Annie. So Annie tells Walter that she's flying to Chicago, and while on plane she's stuck between two Albanian women with insanely body odor. One of them said, and she thought, "Oh, I hate flying," but she said lying. So Sam, John, and Victoria are at the airport, and once Victoria leaves, Sam informs Jonah about Victoria. He loves her, but they were meant for each other. Do you think that they're meant for each other? Take your damn coleslaw! Oh, that's something else. But Annie is now in Seattle. She tries to trace down Sam and Joe, and she sees them playing football on the beach. She's knowing that they may be Mr. Right, but Annie was so hesitant to meet him. So that night at the hotel, Annie calls Becky that she just couldn't meet him. She was very hesitant. But the next day, Annie returns to that same area, and she said Victoria was there, and Annie was in the middle of the street, and a taxi cab almost ran her over just as Sam said hi to her. So back in Baltimore, Annie tells Becky that she was embarrassed about it, more so than being naked in a dream and everyone's looking at you. And so Annie gets all flustered until she reads a letter and decides to marry Walter. So back in Seattle, Sam has a dinner date with his siblings that you see early in the film. Susie tells Samuel and her husband about the movie An Affair to Remember, Cary Grant, and the original. And Jonah tells them he hates Victoria. When Susie describes An Affair to Remember, Susie's husband and Sam like poo-poos her. It's like, "Oh, that's a chick's film." Chick, chick, chick. Well, yeah, so basically Jessica and Jonah plan on a trip to New York City once Jessica's mom leaves. Annie decides to meet Walter in New York City and moves on from Sleepless Sam. That's Sleepless
right, because he's the sleepless guy in Seattle. That's worth the title and all that.
Annie and Walter have a good time in New York, planning their wedding at Tiffany's, as well as having breakfast at Tiffany's or having breakfast with Tiffany, and rice exploding all over the apartment with Mickey Rooney.
Yeah. That's a different one.
Yeah, but Walter slays down his mother's wedding ring. Back in Seattle, Sam and Jonah start having an argument about Annie, because Sam finalized his mind and he's like, "I won't let you watch Basic Instinct or Fatal Instinct. It scared the shit out of me." So, like bad Tom Hanks impersonation.
What did that have to do with Annie, though?
Because Jonah wants Sam to see Annie.
Oh, okay. Because they still haven't met yet, right?
Not but real big time.
Right.
So that's why they have flights. So Jonah decides, you know what? I'm just gonna be Go to New York. Lost in New York. Hey, didn't that thing happen already? Oh, hey, Macaulay Culkin. yeah. I'm surprised they did not get Macaulay Culkin.
Right, or at least Jonah and Macaulay Culkin walk past each other in the street, like, oh, hey,
and then, hiya, pal! I'm gonna kick you in the motherfucking mouth.
All right.
Oh, but Harry, you're better off like Marv. But Annie wants to dump Walter because the relationship would go nowhere. She'd have to like take care of him. Sam flies to New York to find Jonah, and Jonah's on the observation deck of the Empire State Building looking for Annie. It's like he was there all day. Annie then dumps Walter on Valentine's Day, and Walter says, oh, "Go ahead, go." And so Annie tries to get to the Empire State Building, but it was about to close. And then she mentions an affair to remember, and the night guard says, "Yeah, I know that film." So, yeah, then Sam sees Jonah. They embrace, and he's like, "I was worried sick about you. Why don't do that ever again?" And then Annie sees nothing. Then Annie comes up after Sam and Jonah leave, but apparently Jonah left his Seattle Mariners book bag, and they decided to get it back. And then that's where Anna and Jonah, Anna and Sam and Anna meet.
Yeah, probably way better that it'd be the adults meet because she hooks up with the third grader. That's weird.
Anna took a dump on me.
So Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, they finally meet and they fall in love.
Yes, and then you see the Empire State Building with the hearts and fireworks exploding and skyrockets at night, evening delight. Because
that's the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, that is the end of the movie.
Is that so? This was after she met Billy Crystal.
Oh no,
that's Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
And then she and Tom Hanks exchanged a bunch of emails for a while, or no? That's You've Got Mail.
Well, Dave Chappelle's in that one, and then
Dave
Chappelle plays R. Kelly then, or Rick James.
No, and then he becomes best friends with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, and they have a music career.
Yeah, and John Candy's in it for some weird reason.
That's at least follow the thread somehow.
Okay, fine.
Just say random things. Then he meets up with Tom Hanks. And he says, "No, you should date that mermaid instead." See, that would have been funny.
Okay.
All right.
It's like, well, here's my name. My name is...
All right, so anyway, what are your thoughts on Sleepless in Seattle? Is it a good movie?
Yes,
Do you recommend it?
It's a good movie. I recommend it.
Made no sense. I had no idea what you were talking about.
Okay, I haven't watched this one as much as I did the other two.
Yeah, but you did just watch it last week, right? Right.
But
and you enjoy it. It's a movie you like to watch on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's good. It's my new Valentine's Day tradition or Single Awareness Day tradition because I'm probably gonna be single on the day until the Cleveland Baseball Club wins the World Series. But I got one movie review that probably will not eat as much. I'm gonna give you a couple hints. Winning.
Charlie Sheen's in it?
No, but close.
What would be close?
His Charlie Sheen's brother.
So this is Emilio Estevez reference.
Yes.
Well, why didn't you reference Emilio Estevez in some way?
I don't know.
Because you don't know anything else he's done other than probably, I'm assuming, The Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
So that's what you're doing next week?
Next week, The Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
Not as mighty as Daffy, but...
Well, that's Donald, right?
I know. And winning! I'm a winning lawyer!
At least, thankfully, you're just drinking your first beer of the day instead of doing lines of cocaine off of a stripper's breast.
I thought it was... Wasn't that what Stevie Nicks did?
Why would she do cocaine off of a stripper's breast?
No, that was a unicorn.
Well, anyway... Unicorns have breasts?
No. I think it was Stevie Nicks, unicorns or something like that.
Did a unicorn do cocaine off of her breast?
The butt.
She shoved cocaine up her butt.
I don't know. That's something weird about Stevie Nicks. She's weird.
Well, Charlie Sheen was doing a lot of cocaine and sleeping with numerous prostitutes and strippers.
Right.
That's a fact. So you're referencing Charlie Sheen when talking about Emilio Estevez. And so at least you're only drinking a beer
Yeah.
instead of doing hard drugs. And
Well, because in the film he is drinking and driving.
yeah, it's immediately less of that. Yeah, but he never says winning.
Yeah, well, his brother's winning.
Exactly right.
But you know, he wants to win as a lawyer.
So in a nutshell, that was Sleepless in Seattle's review for movie side.
Right. Oh, what do we get through this time? Oh, want to hear me sing like Barbra Streisand? That's okay. Here, my own private Idaho. Potato. Oh, well, and for all you people, I want to say so long and see ya next Tuesday. I'm Paul, Mr. Clean Warren, signing off.